What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Lord. So, and I'm back to give you guys my deck profile along with my local report. I know I promised you guys that, so I'm really excited to actually go through this deck and tell you guys what happened at locals and the reaction I got from people. The reaction I got from people was really good. They actually liked the deck in my locals. I know Patrick Ho was one of the few people that came up and was like, man, this deck is pretty good, and I actually did get a chance to play him, but we'll get into that in just a second. So I hope this video doesn't take too long, but if it does, it does. If it don't, it don't. I need to hit a few key points, but other than that, it's going to be a straightforward deck profile. We have the two Onuncus, really good against shut-offs, really good against BA, banishing their trap card, which is with that Fire Lake or something like that. But it was really strong throughout the whole night. Going into Infernoid Attondel, he allowed me to OTK a lot of my opponents. A lot of my opponents got OTK really quick because of this guy. And the MVP of the night against Patrick Hogan's Burn Abyss deck had to been Infernoid Seitsemas along with his Battle Banishing effect, guys. Love that effect. We have the 3 Infernoid Patrulea, which was kind of underwhelming throughout the night. Didn't really get his effect off as much as I wanted to, or hit the cards I would like to. But in this format, nobody's really playing that much back row, so I really do main 3 just for really cleaves and things like that. Moving on to Infernoid Harmadik. Harmadik was really good. Didn't resolve his effect that much, but allowing me to have a card in hand to actually destroy a monster was really strong. But another card I want to talk about just for a second is Infernoid Antra. He was really good throughout the night, allowing me to bounce Burn Abyss XYZs and Synchros back to the issue that was really good. Allow me to bounce Construct, Winda, and things like that. Allow me to push the game once those cards was out of my way. Was really strong. I'm moving on to the non-Inferno monster. We have one Blaster, which is a win more card to let you guys OTK. And moving on into my Lightsworn engine, we play 1 Lyla and 2 Raiden, which is going to actually switch up after this deck profile. We'll be playing 2 Lyla to actually deal with the Vanity's Emptiness threat. This engine was really good. I found that the 3 was a good number, but 4 just to have that out to Vanity's Emptiness, I think is going to be really key. So I will be adding that second Lyla to the deck, but 3 is a really good number in the mix with my Charge of the Light Brigade. Moving on to some more millers of the deck, we have the double card trooper, which is the final monster of the deck. It was really good. Allowing me to mill 3 and potentially draw off his effect was really strong. I actually hit him more off reasoning the few times that I did see it versus seeing him off versus seeing the Lightsworn monsters hit off reasoning. So it was really good. Moving on to the spells of the deck, we have the double Void Seer. Seer. It was really good against cards like Dark Hole and things like that. But other than that, it was just really good. I have no complaints about that card. 3 is way too many. I just found out that 3 was just too much in testing. But I didn't play 3 that night, but I played 2 and it was just right on point. Moving on to the main card of the deck is going to be the Triple Reasoning. I didn't open with this card at all last night, guys, which was kind of odd. Not opening with it. I seen it, of course, but I did not open with that card at all. But it's a really strong card for the deck, and you need to see that card. Not to win, but to actually make a really good graveyard setup. I played the 1 Monster Gate, which is, of course, a better reasoning. I played the 1 Charge of the Light Brigade, to search out the Lightsworns. The 1 Miracle Dig was really underwhelming for that night. It's going to get cut for the second Lyla. And, of course, I played the 1 Barrier from Different Dimension, which was really good. Moving on to the staples of the deck, we played the 1 Raigeki, the 1 Snatch Steal, and the triple MST to deal with the Vanity's Emptiness threat. Moving on to the traps, I played double Needlebug Nest. There are times where you just cannot get a mill card, and Needlebug Nest showed up, just in time in a couple of matchups, and it allowed me to dig through my deck to actually get a good graveyard set up to OTK my opponent. So I really do like Needlebug Nest at 2. 3 is just way too many. Moving on to the last 2 trap cards of the deck, we have the 2 Raigeki Breaks. Main board in this card, and against cleaves and any deck that likes to play any kind of standing spell traps, whether it's Skill Drain, Cleave Shell, or even Vanity's Emptiness is too strong. You just need more outs to Vanity's Emptiness because this deck just automatically loses to Vanity's Emptiness, guys. So that does it for the main board. We're gonna glide through the. Let's glide through the extra deck. I got about 8 cards in my extra deck, but that's all I really want to talk to you guys about. Of course, I have a full extra deck. It's just not important to actually go through that because in this deck you just really do not exceed or synchro that much. So the cards I feel like that shouldn't change in everybody's build are these right here. These 8 cards is the one Felgrand, the one Drago Sack, the big guy. The Down Magician is for the Snatch Steal play. If you're going against BA, to Snatch Steal the Dante to use, and then overlay in main phase 2 with Down Magician. I actually created that play against Patrick Hoban in game 1, and one Star Eater. Of course, the other 3 cards are the normal. Well, should I not say normal, but the non-effect Synchro and XYZ monsters. This is actually key into actually OTKing your opponent when you have Raiden on board and you want to Synchro and push for huge damage. Having these non-effect monsters on the board does not go against your restrictions to summon Infernoid, so I think you guys should actually play all 3 of these because you never know where your OTK is going to actually come from or when it's going to actually show up, but you guys don't want to be restricted in the form of, you know, having the XYZ monster on board unless you guys can actually help it. But going into these and just pushing for game is just too good. That does it for the extra deck cards I wanted to talk to you guys about. The extra deck is just too open. You guys can play pretty much wherever you want to play, but I think those 8 cards right there is just, you know, primarily what you need. Moving on to the side deck, I've decided 1 skill Soul Drain, 1 Breakthrough Skill, double Mischief for the Yokai, double Fiend Committee. I know you guys might not know what this is, so I'm going to go ahead and read it for you, or just sum it up. I flip a coin. If I call it right, I can banish all cards in my opponent's graveyard. If I call it wrong, I mill from my deck that same amount of cards that they have in their graveyard. So it's basically a win-win situation for me. I always sought out my Needlebug Nest game 2 against decks that have heavy graveyard manipulation, like Shadow's, BA, and maybe sometimes S-Knights. But I know I side my Needlebug Nest out game 2 just about all the time. So this card was really strong throughout the night, and we'll go into that in just a second. In preparation for the Dark Law, I wanted to side deck 3D Fusion. I know I didn't need that many for the actual Shadow matchup, but I wanted to actually start, you know, siding for the hero matchup. So the defuse was just really good. I didn't open it. I mean, I didn't draw it, but it was there. Of course, I sided the triple Fairy Wind for the Cleaves and the triple Mistake for Cleaves, and also Necros. So when they come out, whenever they're legal, I side out these. So I'll just basically this side deck is basically for, you know, future formats to come, but you know it actually worked this format. So I wanted to actually side double Shadow and Prison Mirror, but I couldn't get any before the tournament started. All right, let's go ahead and get into these matchups. One other thing I want to tell you guys about, I will be siding 1 Aaron, the Lightsworn Monk. I just find this card to be a little bit good against the what is that, the BA matchup, and also the Shadow matchup, kicking those face down cards back to the deck, or those, you know, those defense position monsters back to the extra deck, guys. Just so I think I might be siding 1 Aaron. You know, I can take out Raiden at any particular time for this, and I just feel like it's going to be really strong. So who knows? I'll let you guys know how that works out. But let's go ahead and get into these matchups. Round 1, I went against Constellars, which I 2-0'd that guy. It was really nothing to actually say about that. I sided in 2 mistakes, and I sided in, what else I sided? 2 mischiefs of the yokai and the 1 breakthrough skill, which actually the breakthrough skill came in handy a lot. And these were the only 2 cards I resolved against him, and they all got resolved from graveyard, which you guys may know. So, you know, this deck mills a lot, so having graveyard activated effects is really good, you know, to have as far as trap wise, like breakthrough skill and mischief of the yokai. So it was really good. That whole matchup, I was in control from beginning to end, and I wasn't in any fear of losing the match at any point in time. So I 2-0'd that guy. So we're gonna move on to game 2. I went against Cliffords, and I sided in, of course, the triple mistakes. Of course, in case I didn't draw my Fairy Winds, which I seen the Fairy Wind, but it just didn't do enough, guys. You have to open with at least 2 MSTs against Cleaves. other than that, you're not really doing too much. So I started in the triple mistakes, the triple fair wins, which was really good. It's just that game 1 against Cleves, I opened with 6 Infernoids, so I really couldn't do anything against that matchup at all because I didn't have the mills I needed, or I just opened really, really dirty. So he got game 1. Game 2, he annihilated me again, which was due to no mills and nothing like that. So that was a really, really rough matchup. I'm not going to say Cleves is going to be the worst matchup because, you know, we do mainboard 2 Lylas and we have our own back row popper for the archetype. So I'm not going to say that's a huge matchup, a bad matchup for me, but it definitely hurt to lose to that guy like turn 2 every game. Moving on to the third round, I want to get shut off. I ended up 2-0 this guy, and that was really, really cool the way I OTK'd this guy. Of course, I sided in the triple Defusion, the double Fiend Comedian, and the 1 Soul Drain. I didn't draw these. I didn't draw that card at all. I think I drew that once, but the game was over by the time I drew it. But the Fiend Comedian, I was able to resolve against the guy game 2. But game 1, I Snatch Stole his construct, tributed with Monster Gate, and OTK'd him just like that. Game 2, I was with Fiend Comedian, milling 10 cards out of my own deck to the graveyard to give me an OTK push, and I just 2-0'd that guy. It went by really, really fast. He didn't even get a chance to put a fusion on board game 2. So moving on to round 4, we went against actually Patrick Hoven, where I sided in the double Fiend Comedian, the Soul Drain, and of course, what else I sided in against this guy? I sided in against these 2, the Mischief of the Yokai, to actually give me some kind of defense against him when he tries to XYZ summon. Which that showed up and this showed up. I didn't actually see Soul Drain throughout the whole night, so that's neither here nor there. But game 1, it was a 35-minute matchup. Game 1, he ended up beating me with 300 life points. At one point, I was at 8,000. He was at 15. It's just that these big monsters we have, especially Seitsemas. Seitsemas was the MVP of that matchup. But resolving Fiend Comedian against him, game 2, was really good. He had the spell card, the new ritual spell card in the grave with a couple of Burning Abyss, but allowing me to banish all those cards from his graveyard was really strong. But game 2, it just didn't help because he opened with Vanity's Emptiness turn 1, and he said pass, and then my draw phase he flipped up Vanity's Emptiness, and I just lost. I had to scoop it up after that. But it was a really good learning experience overall. Moving into round 5. Also, guys, don't be surprised if Patrick Hoven starts to play Infernoids or starts messing around with Infernoids. So me and him had a really good talk. But round 5, I want to get shot off again. 2-0 this guy, and you know, same results. It was just that, you know, I was a little bit more faster than his setup was. He played the Chaos version, where the guy played in a round previous to him was playing the Equipped version. But I was way too fast for him to actually get around to using any of his good cards on me. So I did resolve Defeating Comedian against him, and I also milled out my deck to actually OTK him as well. So overall, guys, I really do like the deck. That kind of does it for the night. I didn't make top 8, but you know, this is a learning experience. I know my side deck could have been a lot stronger. Probably off by 2 cards, but we're gonna hammer that stuff out later on. But just want to let you guys know, I really do enjoy the deck. I thought it was a really strong contender against BAs, against Cleves, even though I got 2-0 by those guys. I just thought it was a really good, strong deck. Of course, I 2-0 shut off, but that deck is on the downfall anyway. But this has been your boy, Lord Solar Prime, and guys, my next video should be a dual video with this deck, so please stay tuned for that. I will be changing the deck up a whole bunch. I will be adding the Lyla, as well as continuing to do my testing for the deck, so please look forward for a dual video next. This has been your boy, Lord Solar Prime, and I'm out, guys. Peace.